Hello students, so today we are going to be using our ART strategy to improve our reading comprehension. So you might be thinking, what is our ART strategy? So our ART is based on three separate things. So our first part is going to be the A, which stands for ask. So this is before we read, we need to look at the title and think what the reading is going to be about based on that title. Next, we need to think of what we already know about this topic and what two questions do we want answered. Okay, so I'm going to open up the article I chose, which is about gray wolves. So, using our ART strategy, I need to look at the title and think about what the reading is going to be about. And then I need to think about what I already know and what two questions I want answered. Okay. So looking at this title, I know that this article is going to be about gray wolves. So I am going to use, to help me stay organized, I'm going to use a KWL chart. So what I already know based on the title before I read, this is going to be about gray wolves. Also, I know that this is going to be something about gray wolves being relisted. So I'm going to say something to do about relisting. Okay. And this is what I want to know. These are where I'm going to put my two questions that I have based on the title. So I don't know what the word relisted means. So that could be one of my questions. So I want to know, what does relisted mean? So that's question number one. Now I need another question. Okay, so my second question I could think about is, why are gray wolves being relisted? So I'm going to put that as my second question. Why are gray wolves being relisted? Okay, so now that I have what I know the topic is going to be about in the reading, and then I have my two questions, this is when we can go to our next part of the strategy. So the next part is the R, and that is read. So during our reading, after each paragraph, stop and think if we really understood what we just read. If we didn't understand, then we need to read it again until we do, and use some of our skills to help us understand. So some of our skills could be marking our paragraphs with a plus sign if you did understand them, marking our paragraphs with a minus sign if we didn't understand them, and then if we didn't, we need to read slowly, we need to focus all of our attention on what you're reading, and then we need to underline words that we don't know, and then use our context clues to try and figure them out. So I am going to read my article. That's what I would do. So I would stop after every single paragraph. Remember, a paragraph is when it stops and then starts again. There should be a big space. So this one has 3 paragraphs. So I would stop after every single one and make sure that I understood it. Okay? So after that, after we've read and we understand every single paragraph, we need to move on to part T, which is tell. So after reading, we will try to answer our 2 questions we wanted answered, and then with a partner, we need to discuss our 2 questions and answers. So if I was looking at my questions, it was, what does relisted mean, and why are gray wolves being relisted? So after I read this, I need to answer them. So on mine, what does relisted mean? Well, since I read it, I would know that relisted means that they are going back on an endangered species list. Okay, so I would say that they are on an endangered species list again. So that's my answer to my first question. Then I would go to answer my second question. Why are gray wolves being relisted? Well, since I read, it says that a judge made a ruling and he decided that the animals still need protection. So that's why they're going back on the list. So my answer was, a judge said that the gray wolves still need protection. Okay, so after I've done all those parts and I've filled out my entire KWL chart, then I'm going to discuss my 2 questions with a partner, and then I'm going to share my answers with a partner. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing, and you can pick a new topic or a new article to do, and then make sure you meet with a partner and share your answers and your questions. Okay?